สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผมสวัสดีครับอาจารย์ครับผม
Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join. We shall begin with our first participant, which is Felicia Chan.
Reverend Ajaan, my practice is good. I don't have question at the moment. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. We'll go to Jordan. Jordan from Toronto.
Hello, Ajaan. I also don't have a question today. I'd like to just listen today.
Okay. Maybe later
Thank
on.
Thank you.
We gave Yenso from Penang, Malaysia.
Hi, Ajaan. Happy to meet Ajaan again. No questions so far, Ajaan. Yeah.
Yeah, Professor Ken from Switzerland.
Afternoon, Tanajan. I would like to ask a question today about the Dhamma Vichaya, and in particular, what is meant by Dhamma in that case. Is it the teachings of the Buddha, or the mind and body, or basically everything that's included?
No, it means the contemplation on Dhamma, which specifically refers to the body, the feelings, and the mind. So it's considered to be contemplation or study to see the true nature of the body, feelings, and the mind. Dhamma Vichaya.
Yeah.
So it's a development of wisdom. But you can also cover other subjects as well, other objects, such as wealth, status, fame, and happiness you get through the sensual objects. You can also contemplate on the nature of these things. And they all have the three characteristics of existence. They are temporary, they are changing, anicca. They are anatta, not under our control. If we cling to them or we want to control them, we can get dukkha or stress. So we have to learn to let go of things that is changing all the time, that is not under our control. Because when we try to change or try to control, and when we could not do it, we can get dukkha or stress. So this is the purpose of Dhamma Vichaya, to study the nature of things, the true nature of things, as being composed of the three characteristics of existence, on everything that the mind becomes involved with, which usually refers to the four worldly dhamma, which are wealth, status, fame, or praises, and the happiness you get through the sensual objects. See that they are all anicca, they are changing. They can change from good to bad, from bad to good. They can rise and cease. So, and you cannot stop them from changing. You cannot say, stop, I want it to be like this all the time. Like when you're famous, you want to remain famous. You want to be popular all the time. You cannot do that. Sooner or later, your popularity will wane. And when it does, if you cling to your popularity, you can get dukkha. You can become unhappy. But you accept the fact that this is the way things are. Things keep changing, from going up to coming down, from rising to ceasing. And there's no body or anyone can stop this change. Then we just accept them. When we accept them, then there will be no stress or sadness when they change, when things change. So this is what you have to study on Dhamma Vicaya. So the Dhamma can be all encompassing everything that we are involved with. People, things, your job, anything like this, they are under the law of the three characteristics of existence. So if we know well this law and abide by the law, then we will have no stress or sadness when things change, because we know it's not under our control. Our body is the same thing, it's changing all the time. From the time of birth, from the time of conception, to the time of death. It never remains the same for 1 second. But the changing process can be slow, so it's not obvious to the eyes. But if you take your photograph, or you look back at the photographs when you were 30 years ago, you probably don't recognize it's the same person.
Yeah.
So this is what we have to study and remind us to be aware of it all the time. So we don't fall into the trap of attachment, clinging to things, and expecting them not to change. When we like them, and expect them to change when we don't like them. So if they change, they have conditions that cause them to change. And when they don't change, maybe the condition that caused them to change is not in action yet. But they will change eventually. Nothing remains the same forever. So this is what you have to do when you develop wisdom or contemplation. Okay.
Thank you, Ajaan. It's very clear.
All right. We'll go to Trevor. Are you still in Nova Scotia?
Good evening, Ajaan. Yes, I'm still in Nova Scotia. And we just had almost a year of rain in one day. It just came down out of the sky.
Yeah.
And I'm still in my little trailer. I didn't float away. The roads have all washed out all around me, and I was safe and sound, and not a drop came in through the roof. I was very lucky. But yes, you heard about that over there, did you?
Yeah.
I guess news
spreads out. It's in the internet, Google News.
And the thunder and lightning was, usually it comes and goes, but this just kept coming all night. Thunder and lightning. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
And I stayed in my little hut, and and weathered the storm. But thank you for asking. Yes, I don't have any questions today, Ajaan. I keep trying to incorporate meditation each day. Some days more successful than others, but whenever I do it, I feel that it is the most important thing and the best thing of each day, and I recognize that, and I'm going to keep working at increasing my meditation time and frequency, and making it a priority. But and these talks are helping me immensely. They've changed my whole view on the world, really. And reading your book, and I'm almost finished your Beyond Birth. I read a little bit each night, and I just anyway, I just wanted to thank you and tell you how much I appreciate these meetings.
You're welcome. I hope you keep up with your practice, because it's your refuge you can rely on to protect your mind from stress and all form of suffering, mental suffering.
Yes,
Okay.
I recognize. Thank you.
Because once you can keep your mind calm and peaceful, then nothing can hurt your mind, whatever happens.
And I try to keep that while I'm walking somewhere, or if I'm driving. I just want to drive. I'm trying not to let the mind wander and off into all kinds of worries. And
that's right. Just concentrate on what you do.
I took that advice from your last discussion. Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Your worries come from your thought, not from what is happening. If you don't think about what's happening, then it cannot cause you any worry. Only when you think about what's happening, that's when it causes you worry. So try not to think about anything. If you want to think, just say, this is the way things are, and nothing we can do about it except accept them for what they are. Okay?
Very important, very important. Thank you, yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We'll go to Titima from Bangkok.
นมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์ Today I don't have any question, but I try to practice my meditation every day ค่ะ
Okay, good. Keep it up.
Thank you พระอาจารย์
Go to
Have a
Sao
good health
Paulo.
ค่ะ
Thank you. Go to Sao Paulo. Alfredo, Becca. You look comfortable.
Hi, Bante. Yesterday I meditated in the forest.
Oh, you stay in the forest alone?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes, very, very good. Normally, I meditate in my house, the same kuchi, little house. But yesterday I go to the forest. It's near here.
I see.
A very, very good experience.
Nobody
I will be continued.
Nobody in the forest but you yourself alone?
Yes.
So no one
Only
disturbs you?
Only birds and other
I
animals.
You find your meditation better in the forest than in the house?
Yes, better in the forest. In my house, I meditate a lot for every years, In the forest is a different space,
Yeah. The Buddha became enlightened in the forest, not in the palace.
Yes.
The condition for enlightenment, for my mental development, is in the forest, in the wild, not in the town and cities, in the house and in the mansion.
Yes. I will be continued.
Yeah. Most enlightened monks all found enlightenment in the forest.
Yes. Yes. The sense
there.
of pleasure is less, né, Bante, in forest.
What is less?
The sensual the pleasures.
Yes, that's right. Sensual objects.
Sensual objects is less.
Yeah. So no
Yes.
less disturbance to your mind.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
You should go more often. Go every day.
Yes.
And
You answer to yes. You answer to the doctor about wisdom.
Yes.
But the wisdom is far away of word. Wisdom is nibida, né, Bante? Nibida. The world to live in world and have good results is consequence by your karma, né, Bante? Your conditions, né? The far way is more important, né, Bante, or no? The distance to the world, to the fora subas, né? World, things of world, the meal and the body, né? The distance, how nibida, how is more important, né, Bante?
Nibida
Or
means,
no?
Nibida means dispassion, right? No passion.
Yeah, no passion for word.
Yeah, that's because you see anicca, you see dukkha in the world. See?
Yes.
So you lose your passion for the world when you see suffering in the world.
Yes.
But people try to forget about the suffering in the world and focus only on the happy side of the world. So they become passionate with the world.
Yes.
And they don't want to see the negative side of the world. They don't want to see aging, sickness, or death. So that's why you need to develop wisdom. Wisdom will teach you to see both sides of the world, both the good side and the bad side.
Yes.
And when you see the bad side of the world, then you will lose your passion for the world.
Yes.
Then you find it's better to meditate. And you become passionate with meditation. You will do nothing else but meditation. Because it gives you true happiness.
Yes.
Okay.
Energy, samavayama.
Samavayama. Yeah, you have to exert yourself. Okay.
Yes.
Good. You have to push yourself. It won't go by itself. Your
Yes.
mind won't go by itself. It needs you're pushing. You have to keep pushing your mind to work harder and harder, more and more. Then you get more peace, more calm, more wisdom.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Bante.
Okay. Good.
Good.
Go to Rihanna Challenge, from Indonesia, Surabaya.
My name is Ajaan. I want to ask about some. Yes, I have a question today. So in my school, there is a plan to cultivate fish. The plan is the student will cultivate fish, then the fish will be changed by us, and we will make the food from the fish. And the cultivation is included of one of the lesson in my school. So how to refuse appropriately to the teachers that has different religions. So the teachers ask the student for do the cultivation fish. Thank you, Ajaan.
What are the students required to do? Can you repeat the?
Cultivate fish.
What? Can I understand this?
Yes, like fish farming.
Fish farming.
Yes.
Fishing.
Yes.
And the students are required to do fishing.
No fishing, Ajaan, like fish farming, and then the student will take care of the fish, and then after that,
Kill the fish.
Yes, yes.
I see. So what to do? Well, you just tell them that you are Buddhist and you have to keep the precept of not killing. You have to ask yourself to be excused from this project. But if the teacher refuses, then you say, okay, you accept the consequence of your refusal. You would rather keep the precept than break the precept. And you're willing to accept the consequence. Because the consequence of killing is much more worse than what you can get from your school. Because if you kill, eventually when you die, you will have to be reborn as fishes or animals. You cannot come back as a human right away. You will have to go pay your debt. So it's better not to kill. Then when you die, you don't have to go and take animal birth. You can take human birth right away. Okay, does this answer your question?
Yes. Thank you, Ajaan, for the answer.
Any more questions?
No, Ajaan.
Okay,
Anumodana, Ajaan.
okay. Thank you. You're welcome.
Yes,
We'll
thank
go to Singapore then. Okay, Kok Seng from Singapore.
Yeah. Good evening, Ajaan. Maybe I just update you my practice. For the past few weeks, I've been giving dana to the monks from Palilai, where they goes to do the Pindapat every Monday near my place there. So I'm inspired by your video showing your Pindapat on Sunday morning. But in Singapore, we do not have such an opportunity to offer. And when I found that Palilai Temple has such an opportunity, only difference is that the monks from Palilai, they do not walk along the marketplace. They stay stationary, and the lay followers, they just bring the food items to the and offer to the monks who are standing. Yeah.
That's okay, because maybe the law in Singapore prohibit monks from walking on the street. So they have to be stationary and receive alms that way.
I'm not so sure because in Singapore it's very rare, and I think maybe Palilai Temple may be the only temple in Singapore who has such a practice. Yeah. So so far what I've been offering are dry food stuff like the dry rice, uncooked bee-hoon, soya sauce, common salt, and so forth. Because all these will be needed by the kitchen in Palilai Temple, there's a group of volunteers who cook for the bhikkhus every day at the temple there.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah. Then second thing about my meditation practice, I found that sometimes when I sit, when I feel drowsy, I will walk. But sometimes I find so tired, then I will just lie down on the bed. So my question is, how do I know whether is it my department telling me, or go and lie down on the bed, go and rest, or is it I'm just genuinely physically very tired? So how do I tell the difference?
Well, you have to know yourself whether you have enough sleep or not. If you don't have enough sleep, then you will have to sleep more. But if you think you already had enough sleep and you still drowsy or sleepy, it might be because you eat too much. So you might have to reduce your food consumption down. Not eat too much. Try eating once a day for a change if you want to solve the problem of sleepiness. And should you only feel sleepy just during meditation and not during other time, then it's probably your defilement. But if you feel sleepy all the time, regardless of what you do, then it's probably because your body needs some more sleep.
Okay, so maybe the next time, instead of following the mind telling me, oh, go and take a rest, I try walking first, and if let's say I walk and after that still tired, then it may be the body needs some rest.
Yes, it also depends on if you do some other thing and you feel sleepy the same, then it's probably your body needs to sleep. But if you turn on TV and watch the movies and all of a sudden your sleepiness disappears,
Yes, yeah, quite true.
then this is not your body now. This is your defilement.
Mm.
So you have to investigate to see which is which. Is it defilement or is it actually your body needing rest?
Okay. Then Prajan, can you maybe tell me what is one very great motivation I can tell myself to keep on pushing myself for meditation?
Well, one of them is that the uncertainty of life. You don't know how long you're going to live. You don't know whether you'll live tomorrow or not. So you only have today. So you better make good use of today. Because no one guarantees that you will live tomorrow. So sometimes we use this to inspire or to motivate our practice.
Okay.
Don't waste time.
Okay, don't waste time that I may not be able to see tomorrow.
Yeah. Tomorrow might not be here for you.
Okay, I'll try it. Yeah. Thank you, Prajan.
Okay. Go to Gary, also from Singapore.
Good evening, Prajan. No questions, just listening in. Thank you.
Okay, Belinda, also from Singapore.
No questions for now, Ajaan. Still need to work very hard for it.
Okay, Celia from Peru.
Good evening, Prajan. I also don't have questions. Nice to see you.
Okay, maybe later. Okay, Sulan from Singapore.
Oh, hello, Ajaan. Yeah, nice to see you today. Yeah, these few days I'm not feeling well, so I think I will take your advice on like staying mindful. Yeah, because previously I asked you and you said that even when we are feeling unwell, then we should stay mindful. So I'm trying.
Try to accept your illness because it's something you cannot control. It's anicca. Your body is anicca. Sometimes it's well and sometimes it is sick. And it's not under your control. No matter how hard you try to look after your body, sooner or later your body will get sick. And the way to deal with this sickness is to accept it calmly. Do meditation or do chanting, and don't wish the sickness to go away. The more you wish for it to go away, the more uneasiness you will have in your mind.
Oh, okay.
But if you accept that, let it come and let it go by itself, then you will not have any uneasiness or stress. Okay.
Okay.
But you should take medicine and take the advice from your physician as how to deal with your sickness.
Oh,
But
okay.
be patient, let the sickness develop and disappear by itself.
Mm,
Because it's something that there's nothing you can do about it.
mm. Yeah, I was hoping that it would just go away by itself without having to
It
take
will
medicine.
eventually, sooner or later.
Mm,
Mhm. It will go on its terms, not on your term.
yeah.
When it's ready to go away, it will go away.
Oh.
When it's not ready to go away, it will stay. So you have to be welcoming. That's all. If they come, welcome to my world.
Mm,
Then you will not be sad. You will not be unhappy.
mm.
Treat your sickness as a welcome guest. I've been waiting for you for so long. Now here you are. Very happy to see you.
Oh, okay. That's one way to look at it.
Yeah,
Very
that's
wise.
one way to relieve of the discomfort in your mind. Yeah, the unease in your mind.
Mm,
Because generally the mind wants to reject the sickness once it starts to appear, wants it to go away right away.
yes.
When that
Yes.
happens, you're creating uneasiness or discontent in your mind.
Mm. And I realized that when I'm unwell, then I keep wanting to sleep. Yeah. Then I kind of indulge in sleeping.
Or you can use it as an excuse for you to meditate. Because normally, if you're not sick, then you would do some other activity.
Mm.
So when you're sick, then you cannot do other activities, but you can meditate. You can keep watching your breath, calm your mind, and when the more your mind becomes calm, then the less stress you would have in your mind from the sickness.
Mm.
So you should take sickness as an opportunity. Because normally, if you're not sick, then you would not be bedridden. Then you would be doing something else and not meditating.
Yes.
But now you're sick, you're bedridden, you cannot do anything else, so you can only meditate instead.
Mm.
So you should take sickness as a blessing in disguise.
Mm. That's very true. I will meditate after the session, or after the session with Ajaan ends.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's all for now. Then if I think of any question, then I'll ask Ajaan.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go to
Thank you so
Julia.
much.
Julia, are you still in Colorado?
Mm.
Yes. Hello, Ajaan. Yeah, I'm in Colorado, and I missed 2 weeks because one week was. I hope Ajaan is well, and I feel grateful. Yeah, 1 week was one pra, right? And so I didn't know for sure if there's this group on one pra 2 weeks ago, maybe. And then last week, I participated in a like online retreat. And so from here in Colorado, and it felt very peaceful and cool. And then also yeah.
When you say you do retreat online, how do you do it? It's like
So
joining the meeting like we are doing right now.
Yeah, so in the morning, I would do the puja, but they would be online doing the evening puja and chanting and sitting. But it was morning here, and then in the evening, I would do the morning puja online, and then I took the eight precepts, but I did them Colorado time, and then in between I did some sitting and some walking, and it was so wonderful. And then you think, oh, maybe I don't know if I consciously thought this, but maybe it will be this way forever, and so smooth, and then then the retreat ended. And so I feel that there's still access to the coolness, but there's some like speeding up, like in like the nervous system, a little bit more speeding. So I don't know how much will everything changes, but yeah.
Well, actually, you can continue on with your retreat. You do a solo retreat. You can do it all the time. Just follow the same schedule that you do when you're on retreat online. Once the online retreat is finished, you can continue on your own. That's the goal really for practice, to be able to practice continuously. Sometimes you need something to kickstart your practice, like attending online practice. But once you got going, then you shouldn't stop. You should keep continuing on with your retreat every day.
Every day, Ajaan. Okay.
Because the more you do, the closer you get to your goal of enlightenment.
Yeah. Yeah.
So try to practice continuously. Don't stop after your online retreat. You should continue on with your solo retreat. Do it on your own, following the same schedule, doing the same thing. You can do chanting on your own, right? You don't have to chant with other people.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I will.
See, the purpose of attending this retreat is to establish a certain type of discipline in yourself. See? Normally, when you're on your own, you don't discipline yourself. You don't set up a schedule to do practices. But when you join the retreat, they have schedule, right? What time to do what thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So once you get this discipline, then you can do it on your own. See?
Yeah.
If you want to move forward very quickly, then you should continue on to do your retreat on your own, not having to wait for another next retreat, which might be some time away. And in the meantime, you're just wasting your precious time doing something else.
It's a good wake-up call. Yeah.
Yes. Once you get kick-started, then you don't need to join any retreat anymore. You can do your own retreat.
Yeah.
Set up your own schedule.
Yeah.
Okay, any question?
Anumodana.
Okay. Go to Malaysia, Kafai Lim.
Thank you, Ajaan. I have no question for today.
Okay, back to Bangkok, V. Ravin.
Hi, good evening, Ajaan. So my question today is regarding medicine as one of the four, requisites of life. But I just like to understand whether my thinking is correct here. If we rely too much on medicine to look after the body, wouldn't that requisite turn into defilement?
Well, it depends on the actual need of the body. If the body needs the medicine, then you just have to take the medicine. But if the body doesn't need that medicine, it's your anxiety and worry that needs the medicine, then it is your defilement. So you have to rely on your doctor to prescribe you the medicine. Okay, clear to you?
Okay. Okay. So it's okay to take it as long as we don't become
overindulging
upset if we don't have it, right?
Yeah, overindulging. Sometimes people are afraid of sickness and they thought they have to take more medicine just to protect their body. And when in fact it's not necessary to take those medicines. So you have to take the advice from your physician. They know how much medicine you should take.
So medicine is medicine for the body, but meditation is medicine for the mind. Is that
That's right.
correct in
Yeah.
understanding?
Because if you meditate, then your mind becomes calm and have no anxiety or worry. So you might take less medicine when you feel you don't really need to. Like painkillers, you might not need to take any painkiller because if you have a calm mind, your mind can accept the pain. But when your mind is not calm, your defilement doesn't like the pain, so it wants the pain to go away. So it relies on taking medicine to put the pain away. But if you have mindfulness, strong mindfulness and strong samadhi, your mind can absorb the pain without feeling painful. You know what I mean? You can absorb the pain
Yes.
without feeling painful.
Yes. Because it's induced by the body, but it's up to the mind whether to absorb it or not.
It becomes painful because the body rejects the pain of the body. So it's creating the mental pain, which is more harmful, more hard to deal with than the physical pain. So you want to stop the mental pain from arising by accepting the physical pain. Your rejection of the physical pain is the one that causing you to have the mental pain. But if you can keep your mind calm, then you can prevent the mind from rejecting the physical pain. So this is the purpose of the Dhamma medicine, the medicine for the mind. Or you can use wisdom and teach the mind that painful feeling of the body is part of life. And it's not under your control. It comes and goes as it likes. Only thing you can do is to accept it when it comes. Then you will have no mental pain arising.
Yes, Prajna, it's just like what you just mentioned, like greet it like, oh, you're back again. Oh, I haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah. Be welcoming, open arms, welcome back. Nice to see you again. Where have you been? Then you will not be afraid of any sickness in the future. You can accept them and live with them.
So all of this is down to the mind, whether we can accept it or not. It's nothing to do with the body. The body just runs its course.
That's right. The body will have sickness, it will have pain. It's how the mind deals with these things. If the mind has Dhamma, then the mind, instead of rejecting, the mind will embrace and accept things as they are, as they come. Then there will be no mental pain arising. Our mental pain arises from our rejection or our attachment to good things. When we attach ourselves to good things, when they disappear, we feel sad. When we reject bad things, we become stressful. So we should not cling to good things, and we should not reject bad things. Let them come and go of their own. We just merely know, accepting them for what they are. And there will be no stress, no anxiety, no worry, no sadness. You need to have strong ubekkha, you have equanimity. So you need to practice a lot of meditation in order for you to let go, to leave things alone. When your mind is not calm enough, your defilement wants to manage things, want to run things, wants to get rid of things, or wants to cling onto things. And when they fail, they can cause you a lot of anxiety and sadness and pain in the mind.
Yes, Prajaan, meditation is important
Yeah,
to quell.
It's a tool to deal with everything, with all situations, good and bad.
Yes, it's whatever we cling to or not desire that causes us dukkha. It's tanha, right, Prajaan?
Yeah, it's your tanha, your desire, your cravings, your expectation, or your want. You want something, and when you cannot get what you want, you feel bad, you feel sad. But if you don't have any want, just let things come and go, and nothing can hurt your mind. Okay.
Yes, Prajaan. Thank you for your teachings.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go to Penang from Christine Koe.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have no question. May you be well and happy.
Okay, thank you. Go to Kansita. Kansita, where are you from? I forgot. Hello, you can speak now. We can hear you. Go ahead, speak.
นมัสการค่ะพระอาจารย์ I'm from Thailand. If
you're
you
from
still
Thailand.
remember us, yeah, we are in Bangkok. Can you hear me properly?
Yes, I can hear you.
As I follow your Dhamma talk and your way, like teaching us for almost 2 months about my symptom, I have depression disorder, but I think from that time until now, I have a little bit better, like 20%, but I think it's good for me. I'm very happy with it. So in the next month, in the middle of the next month, the doctor will reduce my dosage of my pill. So I know that I will first with the symptoms like migraine,
just like
my mood will swing.
Try to accept them. Don't try to reject them. Sometimes you cannot force them to go away. So if they don't go away, then learn to accept them. Don't reject them. Then you would have no stress, no depression.
But I think this time will better than the patient than before.
Yes.
Because I have trauma with me. Yeah.
Try to do more meditation if you can. The more meditation
I keep practicing, but
you
sometimes a little bit lazy.
She's a sleepyhead.
Sleepyhead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so
Happy to hear
yeah,
that
no,
you have the right type of medicine, which is the Dhamma medicine. Because
yeah,
the one who is really sick is not the body. The one who is really sick is the mind. Yeah.
mhm,
Depression is the sickness of the mind, not of the body.
yeah,
And all you need to do is to calm your mind down and teach your mind to accept things as they are. Okay.
yeah. So no question for today. Thank you so
Alright.
much, Ajahn, for all your teach.
You're welcome. And thank you for coming in. Okay, we'll go to Juliana. Juliana, where are you from?
Good night, Longpo.
Yes.
I'm from Indonesia,
Okay. Where in Indonesia? Medan or Jakarta?
Jakarta.
Okay. Can I help you?
No, today I'm not. I don't have a question.
Okay, just listening in then.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll go to our next participant, which is Ryan. Ryan, where are you from? Singapore, right, Ryan?
Greeting Lumpur, yes, Singapore. I'd like to ask a question about my meditation, because I realized recently that when I try to recite the word Buddha together with the breath, usually I'm not very successful because I think that the mind starts to lose interest in the word Buddha quite easily, because I've been trying this for quite some time already, and generally when I'm not on an intensive retreat, I don't feel that I'm very successful. So would like to ask for advice, how to develop more interest in the word Buddha. Is it through Buddha Nusati, and also what the word Buddha itself means, and why do we chant it for meditation?
Well, first of all, you don't really need to use both the breath and the Buddha together. You can use one or the other. If you find you're not interested in using Buddha, you can use just the breath alone. But if you cannot watch your breath because your mindfulness is not strong enough yet, or because your mind is not calm enough to watch the breath, then you might want to do some chanting first. You can chant in the language that you can understand. Instead of chanting the Pali, chant the translation, the English translation instead. So you can appreciate what you are chanting about, like the triple gems, the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha. So you get to know more about the Buddha, the Dhamma, and Sangha that way. And you might feel appreciated and might feel inspired by them every time you think of them. Then you might eventually like to use Buddha in the future once you understand who you are chanting, who you are reciting about, the Buddha. So read the translation of the chant. Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho. It's describing the qualities of being a Buddha, what it's like. But if you don't want to do chanting or reciting, then you just have to use your breath, watch your breath. If you cannot watch your breath, maybe you can use the 32 parts of the body. Go through the 32 parts. The hair of the head, hair of the body, the nail, the teeth, the skin, the flesh, and so on. You can recite this instead also to calm your mind down and establish more mindfulness. So eventually when your mind becomes calmer and your mindfulness is stronger, then you might be able to just watch your breath. Okay? Understand?
Yes, thank you, Lumpur.
Is that all?
Yes, that'll be all.
Okay.
I'll do.
Go to Malaysia, Alvin.
Good evening, Ajaan. I'm just listening, no question. Thanks for teaching, Ajaan.
Okay.
Thank you.
Go to Malaysia also. Philip and Adeline.
Good evening, Ajaan. Glad to be listening. Are there any questions? Do you have any?
No, we don't have questions tonight. Just listening in.
I just wanted to make a note that I think couple of weeks ago you mentioned about mindfulness of the breath at the tip of the nose. Yes, and you mentioned actually to focus on a smaller point. What happened? I mean, I have been doing it on a regular basis on the nose tip, but I think it was slightly wider. But what happened was I started focusing a bit narrower to a point. I have noticed that I get calm much faster, and then the mindfulness is probably increased by at least 10x than previously. It's just a slight shift. It's like as if a boxer has been training for a long time, and then you say, and the teacher comes to say, you need to shift your punch just a bit slightly to be correct. That is how it is, and yeah.
Okay, good to hear that. Whichever method that makes your meditation better, then it's okay.
Just a slight shift, and I noticed the improvement. Yeah.
Good. The goal is to stay focused and be calm. Okay, good to hear. And you have found your method that works for you. Okay. I'll go to Piyao and Indira from Toronto.
Good morning from Toronto, Ajaan.
Good morning.
How are you? How are you?
As usual, like before.
So nice to see you. Always makes us so happy to see you on Tuesday morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to help all of us from all over the world.
Oh, keep me busy and prevent me from being lonely.
Yeah, this medicine is better than my medicine.
Yeah.
The best medicine. Buddha is the best doctor in the world. I mean, the universe.
Yeah, the Dhamma medicine is the best medicine.
Dhamma medicine.
That is so true. That's the only medicine that we all need.
It works for all ailments. Yeah, just I think just following up on some of the questions about Nibbida. I think he asked about Nibbida, one participant. I guess, is it, I believe it is a part of wisdom. Nibbida is a result of
It's the consequence of wisdom, of seeing that the world, of things that you used to be passionate about is really causing you that suffering.
Yeah. So Nibbida is like a more disenchantment, like you distaste for the same thing you like to. Say, for example, you like this rose very much because I'm into roses. So, but now I don't have the same affliction, same attachment, same craving towards it. And then Nibbida, and then this becomes this passion like viraga, Nibbida, viraga, nirodha. In that order, the mind goes through like a gradual transformation, and eventually nirodha is like a release, like that's it, job done. Is it correct?
That's right. You no longer care about that object anymore.
It is so true.
Not like the way you used to be before.
Yes.
It becomes something unimportant to you. You can
so these are like
leave it.
Yeah. And so the gradual transformation comes with practice. I mean, it's not like overnight thing. Pretty much time and you realize this is happening to you in your own mind. You don't have the same pull towards that same object anymore.
You lost interest in that object. No more interest, no passion. It doesn't give you the kick that it used to give you.
So the mind, like the hot sauce, I give a kick, but not anymore.
You bought a hot sauce?
I just got a hot sauce yesterday. It's very hot, up 5 out of 5. But anyway, it's a bit burning. So eventually you see it's a suffering at the end. The stomach burns. It's a kick. asvadya. So it is this is a happiness, some kind of a comes with it, but again the drawbacks also there. So I think I have to escape from the hot sauce.
Well, you see the suffering coming from it when you
Yes.
run out of it, when you don't have it or something.
That's so true.
So you find it bothersome to have it. It's better not to have it, because once you have it, you have to keep looking for it, going after it.
That is so true.
Yeah, actually the hot sauce scientifically increases your like endorphins, like it's a receptor which you stimulate. So I guess it's like becomes a form of addiction in a way, food addiction. You need that. But although you know it's bad for your stomach, it burns, or even next day it burns somewhere else, but you still want it because you addicted that kick, as you say. There is some kind of a stimulation.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Right? Aswadya, and then
Aswadya,
Adinava,
Adinava,
you realize how bad it is, and then Nisarana, you
try to escape from it. That's the hardest part, escape.
And even Tanajan, like, I mean, people you used to associate, like company, like there comes a time in life, like you just prefer your solitude, you want to meditate, it is like a lot of chaos and noise, so all those things are the same.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like withdrawing. I mean, as you say, I think you're alone, but not lonely. Sometimes even among in social gatherings are getting smaller and smaller for us. In a way, sometimes I guess it's a good thing.
People think we become antisocial, but I guess they don't understand. Some people, they do need that all the time. But as you get into the path and you practice and you realize how peaceful you are within, you really don't crave for that anymore.
That's right. The more you experience the calm of mind, then the less you are passionate about other things. And eventually you just want to be alone. That's why you go and become a monk or become a nun.
Yeah, I think Buddha praised that paviveka kata, meaning
that's right, vivekata.
Paviveka kata and asansarga kata, meaning being together.
Not
Those
socializing.
are good things.
Not socializing.
Yes.
Not,
So, and then also you break more precepts, like, people drink, even to watch all the time, people, knowing all the adverse effects. I mean, leave alone the Buddhist aspect of it, even physically, so many malignancies associated with it, so many things. But
but it's kind of hard to, when you go, we are still as lay people, we still go for parties, then we see people drinking, enjoying. And then like recently went for a 60th birthday party, and so we can't say anything. This is not our business. Like, I mean, we just say we don't take it. That's all. I mean, obviously, it's sometimes hard to watch it, but at the same time, what can you do? It's not our business, right? There's nothing we could do.
That's right. You have to use ubeka. It's when you cannot do anything, then you just have to remain calm and let things be, I guess.
Yes.
It doesn't.
He almost fell asleep. I had to nudge him to get him back to at least talk to people, be kind.
Because I was watching the conversations happening around as like a movie, like just people trying to impress each other, adding on more conversation. It was fun to watch. Yeah, then I thought, what was going on with I'm becoming antisocial. Then
somebody asked about roses and he got all social.
Okay, then everything went away.
So still he's addicted to roses. Anyway, thank you so much.
Yeah, I just want to have one question about, I have this guilt. There's a thing which I do with growing roses. There's a like beetle bug, which comes this 1 month of the season and eats up everything. But I don't want to spray or kill them. So what I do is I slowly remove with extra roses and leaves and just put it to a little bit further away.
In a more jungle,
but again, it's some kind of karma I'm causing because I'm taking away their sensual pleasures or my own sensual pleasures, right? So there is a bit of karma, although I don't kill or I just relocate them, but I'm making some karma.
Yeah, you might cause anger in those bugs, and they might take a wrench on you when they can.
Gosh, so it's like the movie of that birds coming at you.
Yeah, attacked by
Alfred
the
Hitchcock
bugs.
movie.
You might
On the
be,
beach of you.
yes, you might one day be attacked by a flock of bugs. School
Alfred
of
Hitchcock.
bugs.
Oh, that could be a good Alfred Hitchcock movie, The Bugs. I think we'll let you move on. Sir. Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you so much, Teran Saranai.
Okay, let's go to Idaho now, to Tipawan.
Why the Buddhist monks not travel the world to convert people to the Buddhism the way other religions do?
Well, Buddhism is something very difficult for people to understand. So it's hard to try to convert people. It's better for them to convert themselves. If they once establish interest in Buddhism, then they will convert themselves.
Thank you.
See, Buddhism doesn't look for followers. Buddhism is here to help those who need help, who want to be free from suffering. But if they're not interested in Buddhism, then Buddhism will have nothing to do with them, because we are not going after trophies or whatever. The Buddha's teaching of the Dhamma doesn't base on any greed for any rewards or for anything. The only thing he wants is to help with compassion. Okay. All right, we'll go to Bangkok now, to Lillian. Lillian, twice in a row, twice.
3 times. I have a question about when I meditate, right? My shoulder has always been a problem. So I tried to putto and just sort of ignore it, maybe try and accept it, or sometimes when it gets very painful, I try to focus on it. Just trying the different methods, but it still gets very painful. So what is the best thing to do? I'm wondering.
First of all, does this thing only happen when you meditate, or it happens all the time?
Yeah, actually, it's like a chronic pain for me all the time, and it causes headache as well. So and when you meditate, because of the posture, it makes it worse. So
well, you have to go to see a doctor to fix your body pain. It's chronic, you know. But if you want to meditate, then you would have to learn to leave the pain alone and keep focused on your meditation object, and do your best. It depends on the strength of your mindfulness and concentration. If you're strong and your mind is strong in concentration and mindfulness, then it might ignore the pain altogether, and the pain will not bother your meditation.
Okay.
But if your concentration or mindfulness is weak, then your mind keep running to the pain, keep going back to the pain, then it will become more unbearable that way to you.
Okay.
So try to do a lot of mindfulness before you meditate. And you'll find that if you focus on your meditation object, then the mind can ignore the pain or forget about the pain.
Okay. Okay.
But as far as the body is concerned, if it's sick, you need to have it fixed if you can. But if you cannot fix it, then you just have to accept it for what it is.
Yep. Well, I do fix it with a massage, but then it comes back all the time. So it it has been with me literally my whole life. So I think it's quite hard to fix.
Right. Like I have problem with my back, but they only become painful when I walk.
Okay.
But if I'm sit or I lay down, it doesn't feel any pain.
Okay.
So nowadays, when you see me walking on arms round, someday I have to sit on the golf cart.
Yep.
But I still try to walk on days when there are not many people giving food.
Okay.
But on days with many people, I cannot walk the whole distance.
Yep.
I have to take a break.
Mm.
But I try everything, but it's still here with me. So
Yeah.
only thing I can do is just accept it for what it is.
Yes. Yep.
And learn to live with it. Mhm.
Mm.
And do things around it. If you
Yeah.
cannot walk, then don't walk.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. My son has a question. He was asking how come the monks don't wear shoes?
Well, this is an ancient tradition.
Okay.
During in ancient time, Buddha, it's very hard to have shoes for poor people. It's only the rich people who can afford to have shoes. And monks are supposed to be poor because monks made food from poor people, get food from poor people. So monks don't want to act as being rich when they go on arms round. So they have to show humility when they go on the arms round. They are beggar. They are not wealthy. They are beggar. So they go and they have to show the humility by not wearing shoes.
Okay.
But
So-
when they are back in the monastery, they can put on shoes, on slippers. Only when they're on bintabat, on arms round.
Okay.
Or when they go out of the monastery, then they're not supposed to be wearing shoes, so that they can show their humility.
Okay.
And they're being poor,
Okay.
not being rich.
Okay. I'll explain to him. Thank you.
Okay.
Atu.
Right. Okay, who's next? Suchart from Pennsylvania. You have to turn on your mic first. Okay.
Okay, I got it. Captain Ajaan. And I pop in and out. Last time I look like a vacation or bad student or something. So that's apologize, and I come to respect today about that. And it's I use it in pieces from teaching from Buddha. Like my wife work at the restaurant. I said, just let that go. Just don't worry about too much. It's you not control this world, thing like that. So that's what I using it, and I teaching my wife because she doesn't have time to go in like this. So because she work right now, I can work in my let's say not office, but there's a place to work, so I can do that. And but I just listening out sometime outside the room, and sometimes I can't get in. So, but again, it kind of lags. It kind of lags quite a bit, but not really gonna drop out. I'm not gonna drop out this class or room, the school. So, but I just happy to see, and I can't say too much about it because kind of happy to see you. And Saturday, Sunday, I've been keep eye on like a golf cart. You said electric for that. I said, what happened to that? I just wondering about too. So about that. So since you explain about that, so or sometime walking, like last time I got my shoulder looked like a pinched nerve something, so I went to the chiropractor. Still a little bit left, but it just live with it, like I
That's
just
right.
said.
Yeah.
So
We don't live in a perfect world, right?
yes, it's a lot of time it's like the shooting, that this and that. It's a state. Everyone have to be shoot. Otherwise, it's not United States, I think so. But all right, I just gonna listen and keep on reflecting on that, meditate. A lot of time it's kind of lazy too, but I'm just gonna put myself. So thank you so much. I gonna keep eye on, keep working on that. So
Okay.
thank you so much.
You're welcome. I think now is the time to go to Kunla for question from email.
Yes, there are 8 questions from Gmail and 2 questions from YouTube. The first question's from Mandy from Malaysia. I try to relate on Anicang, which is something out of control, on my 9-year-old son. We receive comments on his misbehavior in school. He is very stubborn, won't follow teacher order, and won't listen to our advice. As parents, we need to guide him to the right path. In this case, should I keep quiet, stay away from him, and wait for him to come to us for advice? I personally get exploded easily with his misbehavior, which end up scolding him badly. How should I react to my son's behavior? Thank you.
Well, as a parent, you have the duty to teach your children, but you have to find the right time to do it. First of all, you shouldn't do it when you feel angry. You should calm down first. And then when you advise or talk to your son or your daughter, and if they don't want to listen to you, then there's nothing you can do. But if you neglect your duty, then this is on you. You could be blamed for not teaching your children. So you have to try to teach them, but you have to find the right time and the right technique of talking to them.
Next questions from Magga. When I practice Anapanasati, abdominal attention, and walking meditation, I get the sensation of the air particle hitting the wall of my nose and the feelings of dilation of my eyes, which cause the tightening in the forehead and top of my head, and this stopped me from continuing my meditation. I try to be mindful all the time, but forget to do due to busy lifestyle. Should I stop meditation because this feeling continue even after I stop meditation? Thank you.
No, you can continue with meditation, but you might have to change the type of object that you use to concentrate your mind with. If you cannot watch your breath, then you should do some chanting first. Chanting while you meditate, chanting mentally until you find your mind becomes calmer and all this sensation or abnormal things disappear. Then you can then continue on with your watching of your breath. Sometimes your mind is not calm enough to watch the breath because your mindfulness is not strong enough. So you can use chanting to help calm and increase your mindfulness first.
Next question. Saksurin, the Thai tasker, was airlifted to Thailand earlier this month after claims of cruel treatment at a temple in Sri Lanka. Everyone who loves animals is overjoyed that the elephant is now doing fine at the Thai Elephant Conservation Center in Lampang. The animal was a diplomatic gift and it was in awful condition. When animal rights campaigner in Sri Lanka brought its plight to light, numerous organizations that advocate for elephant welfare expressed their opposition to keeping elephants in captivity. Once more, following Saksurin incident, elephants belong in the wild, not in captivity, are the basic defenses. What is the Buddhist view of keeping an animal in captivity, and should we keep any animal in captivity at all? Thank you.
Well, Buddhist view regarding animal captivity is that we shouldn't put animal in captivity because we don't like to be put in captivity ourselves. So we don't want to treat others likewise. But in some cases, you might have to keep animal in captivity for their own welfare or for the welfare of the public. Because sometimes animals, if they are allowed to roam they might cause damage to other people. If that's the case, then they have to be put in a cage to prevent them from hurting others and also hurting themselves, because they eventually might get killed that way. So captivity might be for some special reason, but generally speaking, we shouldn't put people or animal in cage. We should let them live freely.
Next question. Elephants are used in Buddhist processions in Sri Lanka. The elephant is considered sacred as it is used to carry the sacred true lyrics of the Buddha during the procession season. Many consider that the animal acquires a lot of merit by carrying the true lyrics of the Buddha, as it is a wonderful opportunity for the animals to be trained to perform a sacred task. My question is the questions number 1. Does the tasker who perform the task of carrying the true lyrics of the Buddha acquire merit?
No, not really, because the elephant doesn't know what it is doing. In order for you to make merit, you have to know that you are doing something good for somebody, and then you can get merit that way. But if you're forced to do, then you're just doing it because you're like a slave, then you don't get any merit.
And the second question, does the elephant have a feeling that it is performing a sacred act? Thank you.
I don't think so. I don't think the elephant knows what's going on.
Next question. Some people hold the view that animals are made for human consumption or use, and therefore animal abuse is acceptable. What is the Buddhist point of view? Thank you.
Buddhist point of view is that we should have loving kindness for all forms of being, whether human or animals. We should not treat them badly or abuse them. We should give them loving kindness.
Next question. I recently came across a social media post which said that those who overreact to animal suffering or who are fully devoted to animal welfare are more likely to be reborn in non-human or animal realms in their subsequent births. Any truth to this based on the teachings of the Buddha?
No, there's no truth to this at all. The only way that you can be born as an animal is when you break the precepts, like killing, stealing, committing adultery, or lying. And this can cause you to be reborn in the animal realms of existence. Otherwise, if you have close contact with animal, that doesn't mean that you will be reborn as animal.
Next questions. In which Suchart has the Buddha discussed being kind to animals? Could you enlighten us as to the precise teachings of the Buddha regarding the treatment of animals?
I cannot quote you a sutta, but I can quote you the general teaching of the Buddha is that we should have the 4 Brahma Vihara when we're dealing with other beings. That is, we should have loving kindness, we should have compassion, we should have sympathetic joy, and we should have equanimity when we deal with every type of beings, whether human or animals.
Next questions. What qualities should an ideal Buddhist possess?
Yes, we Buddhists should possess the Brahma Vihara, the 4 qualities of the Brahma, which is Metta, Karuna, Mudita, Ubekha, translated as loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, and equanimity.
Next question. Is it more virtuous to offer eatable or food to a starving human than an animal?
No, the same. You get the same. You get the same merit whether you offer to a human or an animal.
And last 2 questions from Nana. Vandami Ajaan Sukhi Hontu. Good evening. First question. Please, Ajaan, advise, can the monk have bank account? Because I see more monks in Indonesia have bank account.
Yes, the monk can have bank account because the bank is like acting as a trustee for the monks. So the monk can leave the money with the bank. Monks are not supposed to possess or keep the money in their own possession. They have to rely on other people to take care of the money for them. So bank is another alternative for taking care of the money for the monks. So yes, it is okay to have bank account. But it's probably not okay to have credit card though. If you have credit card and you use it for shopping, then this is not the purpose of having the money.
And last question, what is the effect for lay people who support the monk who does not keep the Vinaya rule with sincerity, Nana?
You repeat the question again, please.
What is the effect for lay people who support the monk who does not keep the Vinaya rule? Thank you.
The merit is the same whether you support someone who keeps the Vinaya or not. As far as the merit is concerned, if you do it out of love or compassion or faith, you get the merit. But the consequence of your action might be different. If you're supporting a bad monk, then you're helping the bad monk to thrive. So if you know it's a bad monk and you don't want the bad monk to thrive, then you stop your support and find some other monks to support instead. You want to support good monks because good monks will then do good things for the people, for the community, and for Buddhism in general.
That is all, Ajaan.
Okay. Now, do we have any more questions from anybody in the room? You're welcome to raise your hand and ask your question, unmute your microphone. Okay, Indira, PR.
Yes, Thanajan, regarding that question about animal cruelty, a sutta Buddha said, Karaniya Metta Sutta, Buddha said, like, whatever living creatures, they are without exception, weak or strong, long or huge, or middle sized, or short, minute or bulky, the same metta to radiate to all of them, Karaniya. Right? In Karaniya Metta Sutta.
Okay, thank you. Maybe the person who has question can quote on this. Metta Karaniya Sutta.
And also, Ajaan, one more thing I want to ask you. She also asked a question about the if we support or we offer dana to somebody who doesn't keep Vinaya. Recently on YouTube, I was watching
clip going around.
It's a clip going around in the Sri Lankan community, Buddhist community. A monk who came and said that, it's very important for bhikkhus not to touch money. But he said, he didn't say anything, if you touch money, the bhikkhus get any bad karma. All he said is, this happens because people offer money to lay people offer money to the bhikkhus. So there in Sri Lanka,
they go to hell, in other words.
Yeah, so in Sri Lanka, this is a normal thing. People do offer money because bhikkhus take money, they offer. It's like but he said people who would go to hell realms are the lay people because they
offer money.
Encourage
people to
not at all. They give that, they go to heaven. But the monks who use the money wrongly go to hell.
I thought so too.
Yeah,
yes.
He said that, but I wanted to check with you, and especially thank you to the
because
person who
the
asked
lay
the
people
question.
doesn't know their Vinaya rules. They are giving with a good heart.
That's
I mean,
right.
say, if they
Support,
say
want to
no,
support.
they will. Yeah, if they say no, they will not give it anymore. They say no, I don't want touch money. Then they will not give it anymore because they learn that's against the Vinaya, and they lay people will get a feedback.
Yes.
But it's not the lay people's fault. I think they are turning it around a bit somehow to blame the lay people.
Yeah, so he very categorically said that the lay people are the people who would go to hell realms. So I just was a little worried. So
I think the point is we're forgetting it's not about touching the money. It's spending the money. That's more important.
That
What
is so true.
what do you use the money
What
for?
to do with it?
Exactly.
If you spend it on charity, then it's okay, right? If you
That is so true. So true.
help those in need with the money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But you spend on your own, on your defilement. You want to buy some luxury goods or fly first class or something like that. Then this is bad.
That happens all the time.
Yeah, I think that's what's done in most, even Ajaan Brahm's monastery. They have a monk spending account. They don't get money. The monk spending account get the funds, and they will whoever the layperson who is in charge will distribute the money according to what they need. They need toothpaste or whatever. They will buy this.
That's right. Yeah. The money is actually meant to support the monk's requisite more than anything
Absolutely.
else.
Yes. Thank you, Ajaan. It really, yes.
Ajaan, I think there's a question came about a lot today about sickness, bodily sickness. I mean, one time I was, I think, very sick with the COVID, and then I did contemplate on this amazing sutra called about the 4 vipers. The body is like the 4 elements are like the 4 vipers. Whatever you feed or bathe them or do whatever kindness, they eventually start biting back and start attacking you, right? Like the 4 elements of the body, like 4 poisonous snakes. I think it's called Asili Sopama Sutta. So in a way, this person who was given these 4 snakes, they run away from there and keep running and is try to find refuge in a village. These are like the bandits coming to this village. So these are like the censors. There is no escape even in the censors. So this sutra keeps going like that. Eventually, the only escape they find is a raft, and he somehow quickly build the raft, go across the river to the dry land and an island. So raft is the Eightfold Path. So in other words, it's saying there is no refuge in the body. In other words, the refuge is only in the mind at the end of the day. Is it?
Because the body is a heap of suffering.
Yes.
Because once you have a body, then you have to suffer, because the body all the time. It needs you have to feed it all the time with the 4 elements. In order to stay alive.
Sleep it, wash it,
And then when you get old, you get more dukkha. When you get old, you get pain here and there, muscle pain, stomach pain, and all type of pain coming up in your body.
So the Arahat, in a way, I mean, there was a Theravada, the Arahats are kind of saying that I'm just waiting to get rid of this body, like a person who is waiting the end of the day after hard work, waiting for my wages. I'm just waiting to get rid of the body, because body itself at that level of enlightenment, no more suffering to the mind, but the body does still suffer. So he's just, whatever he can do, he will do to teach Dhamma, but the body can be a burden at the end of the day.
Yes, the Buddha said the body is a heavy burden. Panchakanta, dukkha, parahave panchakanta, parahave panchakanta. The 5 khandha is a heavy burden.
Yeah. So throwing away the burden, I think it's called Bara Sutra. Like throwing away the burden is an arahat. Like these are the heavy burden to the body.
Yeah.
Now that it's this, I just wanted to ask you, Ajaan, my good friend's mom, she got a massive heart attack and she's in the coronary intensive care unit, and the doctors have done everything possible, but she's, still like breathing with assistance and she's very agitated. At a time like this, what's the best way? Like, she has only 1 daughter, she's there. What's the best thing you could do, like, as Buddhists? I mean, she chants spirit for her, she does spirit on the side, and she reminded her of all the good things, the dana, and, going to Bodh Gaya and offering dana to bhikkhus, things like that. Is that what you should do?
Well, in situation like this, no one can do anything for her, really. She has to do it for herself. But if she didn't prepare this ahead of time, then she won't be able to do anything for herself either. That's why you have to practice before you get old, before you die.
You have to pass the test before the final test.
That's right. Because when you get into the ring, no one can help you. Like a boxer. People can help you when you don't get into the ring. They can train you how to box. But once you're in the ring, then you're on your own.
So the last thought or the Chutisita, now it's what you sort of think the last time. So if you hear like Sota Vijnana, like, if you hear something good and remember something good, you
recall. You might. But there's a chance, like the lottery. You never know.
Unlikely. It depends on how you train yourself to think. If all your life you've been thinking about bad things, don't expect on your last moment to think about good things.
It's a habit nature. The more habits you create, a good skillful habits, the chances are, like probability, a good thought will come up. Obviously, if you pick bad thoughts, and the chance of good thought coming is very remote. I believe.
I think it's people's excuse for not doing good things when they're still alive, and hope to get the final thought to be good.
There's nice stories about
Ajaan Brahm had very nice stories about
Buddha Dhamma Sangha. This person who was very rich, but he doesn't want to practice. But he made name his son Buddha Dhamma and Sangha.
3 sons.
3 sons. So when they came to the deathbed, then they were all there. Then he asked, "What's happening to my business?" And he died. So because all the sons are so you can't trick the system.
So he think about his money more than the Buddha Dhamma Sangha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ajaan.
Nice seeing you.
Okay, Jordan, now you have a question.
Hi, Ajaan. So over the last several years, I've been bringing up the idea with my mom about ordaining, and we've had many conversations, and sometimes some very difficult ones. And then recently, after coming back from Thailand and deciding that I wanted to ordain in Thailand as opposed to my original idea to ordain in North America. So we've been having some conversations again, and I've been and she has, long story short, she's given me permission to ordain in Thailand, which is I'm very grateful for, and I'm trying to, it's very hard for her, the idea, but one question she had, one thing she was concerned about is that sometime in the future, there's a good chance that I'll be receiving a kind of large inheritance from my grandmother, and she was just she had the idea that if I was a monk, that the money would go to the sangha, and I understand when I'm a monk that I wouldn't want to have a say in it. I told her that the money would go to her and my stepfather, and so I'm just wondering what is, just to make sure I'm correct, the money, if you get an inheritance when you're a monk, does it automatically go to the sangha or no?
No, it belongs to you. Monks can have their own money. It depends on the giver intention, who to give it to. If it's mentioned that it's given to you, then it belongs to you. If it mentions to give it to the monastery, then it belongs to the sangha.
Okay.
So it depends on the giver, the person who gives you the money, whether they wanted to give it to you as your own, or they want to give it to the monastery. So we have two separate accounts here, for monk and for the monastery.
Okay, thank you. So if I'm a monk and this
Yes,
inheritance,
if someone gives you money, it's in your account, then it belongs to you. But if you find it burdensome, you don't want to have it, then you can give it to someone.
okay, that's what I'm planning to do. So give it
Because monks don't really need money to live, and it can become a burden sometimes. or can become harmful when you start to rely on money to solve your dukkha. When you feel bad, you say, I should go somewhere and use this money to help you go places. And this could be a hindrance to your practice.
I understand. I don't want anything to do with the money, really.
That's why the Buddha didn't want monks to have any money. But then someone asked that maybe some monks might need some money for some special medicine or something that they cannot get from dana, from charity. Then the Buddha said, okay, they can have some money, but they shouldn't keep the money. But the money should be looked after by someone, by a lay person. And should they need anything special, then they should ask that lay person to get the things for them. Monks should not go buy things on their own.
Okay.
And if the money that is being kept with the layperson, been stolen by the layperson, then you have no legal recourse to reclaim the money, because that money doesn't belong to you. You should not consider the money given to you belongs to you. And if the person that you ask to keep the money for you cheat on you and stole all the money, there's no legal ground you can go and reclaim the money from that person, because the Buddha said you should consider the money not belonging to you; it belongs to the giver. And they only ask the person that you trust to look after the money for you. That's all. But it's not your money. It's the giver's money, not your money. So that way you won't have any mental issue with the money, because you consider it doesn't belong to you. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yes.
Because you might need some special thing that you cannot get from your dana, from your charity, from people giving you things. You might need some special things, and you can use this money for that purpose. But you just have to be very careful that you don't use the money for your defilement. That's all, which can be harmful to your practice. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay, nobody. All right, then I think Sulan, you raise your hand. Okay, Sulan. Am I right? Okay.
Yes. Hello, Ajaan. Thank you for answering our questions. I have a question which is on right speech. So in right speech, we have to avoid idle talk. We have to avoid speaking false information. We have to also speak at the right time and speak the truth and what's useful to people. So in our daily life, so if we look into this, then it also means that actually we don't have to speak a lot, right?
Well, as a layperson, your right speech only concerned about speaking the truth only. You don't have to worry about idle chatter or speaking foul language or speaking nonsense. This is more for someone who is ordained, like me. I have to keep this for these three other type of speeches. But for lay people, you're only required to speak the truth and not lying, like in the 5 precepts or in the 8 precepts. But if you want to keep the other ones, it's no one to stop you. There's nothing to forbid you to keep the other 3 type of speeches if you wanted to. But sometimes as a layperson, you live in a world where people, lie to each other or speak foul language or have idle chatter. So sometimes you have to go along with them, right?
Yeah.
So you're not required to keep the other type, the other three types of right speech. You're required to keep the one that is not lying. You should only speak the truth.
Okay. So as lay people, we also need to learn how to interact socially in that sense.
Yes, you have to interact with people, and sometimes you have to do idle chatter. People like to do idle chatter.
Yeah, because I also noticed like that like as a way of like keeping in touch with people. Yeah, like when we meet up with friends and so on. Usually it's idle chatter, which is hard to refrain from.
And
Otherwise,
also using foul language. Also, people nowadays, when you're among intimate group of people, you tend to speak foul languages.
Yeah, I don't quite like foul languages. So when people actually speak foul languages, then my heart will cringe a little.
As long as you don't do it, then it's okay. You cannot stop other people from doing it.
Yes.
Sometimes you cannot avoid hearing it because this is becoming more common nowadays.
That's true. So if let's say we like spend money to improve on like the way we speak, is that considered a waste of money?
Why do you need to spend money on that? What you need is to have mindfulness, to know what you're going to speak. And if you know you're going to speak something bad, then stop it. That's all. You don't need to spend money on this.
Oh, that's true. Yes.
You just need training. That's all. You need to keep training yourself.
Keep training
by being mindful. Think before you say something. Am I going to say good thing or bad thing? If it's going to be bad thing, then stop. Don't say it. That's all.
That's true. Because I realize my inclination is just to keep quiet so that I can avoid saying the wrong things, and yeah. Then I wonder if that's bad.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I have another question, which is so when we meet wise people like wise Ajaans, teachers, and then is it considered a waste if we aren't able to like be clear on our questions and ask them questions?
A waste of time, you mean, or a waste of what?
Like a waste of our good conditions to meet wise people. Because I
it
heard
just means that you're not able to take advantage of your situation. That's all.
Oh, okay.
But
Because
you can learn from them. If you cannot ask them, at least you can listen to them and learn from them that way. You don't have to gain something from asking them. If you don't have any question, then you don't need to ask them. But you should just listen, because what they say might be something that you never heard before.
Yes. Okay. That's very wise advice.
So it's not a waste of time when you meet wise people. You will always learn something from them, even if you didn't ask them any question. Just listen. Just pay attention to what they have to say.
Yeah. Because I heard there's a saying that if we don't ask questions when we meet wise monks, or even like back in the Buddha's time, people didn't ask questions, then they are bad karma or something like that.
No, not true. Maybe you don't have any question. Maybe you understand everything already.
Oh, that's very true. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so don't worry about this. Don't worry about it. Just be thankful that you meet wise people and just pay attention to what they say, they have to say.
Yes. Mm.
And if you don't understand, then you might ask them later on. I didn't understand what you said. Can you elaborate or something?
Mm. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay, we have B. Ravin first, I think, who raised his hand. Is he still here? Okay.
Yeah. Just a quick one, Prajan, also on the Noble Eightfold Path, but on the topic of right livelihood. Is it considered breaking the precept if we are involved in doing one of the forbidden jobs, just as selling weapons or selling alcohol or selling animals? Or
No,
is it just not recommended to do?
As long you don't kill anybody from your job, directly yourself doing it, then it's not breaking the precept. But it's not recommended type of livelihood because you are encouraging people to use what you sell to hurt other people with. So it's better to sell medicine than to sell firearms. You know?
Yes. Or weapons.
Yeah, weapons.
Or drugs or alcohol.
That's right. This thing can hurt other people.
Can harm them, right? Thank you, Prajan.
Sell the food, sell medicine, sell clothing. This doesn't hurt people.
Doesn't hurt people.
All right?
Yes, Prajan.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Priyal, Indira.
Just one quick question. I mean, just a bit of confusion of precept and eightfold path. So for example, if you keep a determination, say you're not going to use harsh speech or idle chatter, and then you do it and it's bad karma, is rather not to do that, rather stick to the 5 precepts, just the lying as a layperson, rather not extend your determination or like a precept as for the eightfold path, like a right speech. For example, is it, in other words, is it bad to make a precept or determination and then break it, right? Rather not do it?
I think it depends on your action more than your intention. So even if you have no intention to keep the precept, but you keep the precept, then it's okay.
Yeah.
So it's not the intention. The intention is only to help you do what you're supposed to be doing.
But like in Sri Lanka, as Sri Lankans, when we go to the temple, always the 5 precepts are given, so everybody chants it. But about 90% of the people, I guess, maybe I'm wrong, 90%, but they break the 5th precept. So is it bad karma to take it and then break it, or is it better to refrain from taking the precept, and if you want, you do it?
They just take it as a ritual. That's all.
Yeah.
They're not serious with what they chant.
Okay.
And since they are in a place where everybody is doing the same thing, so they have to follow along.
Yeah. Okay. If you notice their hands, they have like four fingers. The 5th one is bent there. So the
drinking, huh? Or lying.
Yeah, just joking.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Any more questions? We still have about 10 minutes. 8 minutes left. Sulan again. Okay, Sulan.
Yeah. Hello, Ajahn. Yes. I have another question. It's inspired by Ravin's question on the right livelihood, because recently, a Buddhist friend of mine, she was asking our group of friends about this occupation, whereby the business itself, they are selling supplements whereby people who take alcohol, if they take this supplement, it can help to detox and break down the alcohol faster, and can help them to sober faster, and also protect their liver. So the question that she had was that is the selling of such supplements, which is the business itself, is it in line with the Dharma? Because in a way, it's a medicine to help protect the liver for people to sober up faster, but it also encourages people to take alcohol because yeah, so it was a dilemma for her. She's not too sure.
Well, you should think as the effect of the medicine itself. The medicine is there to help cure the problem, not to encourage the person to drink more. But if the person wants to drink more, that's his business. That has nothing to do with you, with your medicine.
Oh, okay. So that means
It's okay.
It's okay. So
Yeah.
it is not the medicine that encourage people to drink
No.
more alcohol. It's their
No.
own defilement.
It's their own fun, their own desire.
Oh, okay.
Because there might be people who wants to stop drinking and fix their illness from drinking alcohol. Then this medicine will be good for them, right?
Yeah, because it said that the medicine is to reduce the Asian flush and then protect their liver, help to detox that break down the alcohol toxins.
Yeah, I think you should look at the immediate effect of your action and not the secondary effect that might come afterward, like encouraging him to drink more or something.
Oh.
This is up to each individual. Has nothing to do with your medicine.
Okay. I will share this with my friend. Thank you so much.
Because if you push it too far, then you might not be able to do anything. If I build road for people to drive on, then there'll be accident. People will get killed from road accident. Then I should stop building roads for people to drive. Then, right? They should walk instead.
Yes. Yes.
No, you have to look at the immediate effect of what you do. You build road to provide people with easy access to go places. But it's people who drive recklessly who's causing accident, not the road that caused the accident, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you extend it too far, you might not be able to do anything, because everything you do will somehow eventually have some effect on adverse effect on some people down the road. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Very clear. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, I think that's about one more question from Ryan. Okay, Ryan, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Sorry, just one quick question, which is this is something I've always I've heard the answer to several times, but until now I still don't understand. So the difference between piti and sukha.
Well, sukha is translated as happiness. Piti means rapture. It's similar, Don't worry about it. It's good to have both if you can.
Okay.
When you have rapture, sometimes you have tears falling in from your eyes, or you got goosebumps. This is rapture. This is piti. When you feel happy, this is sukha. Okay. So sometimes they come together. They're like brothers and sisters. Okay. Don't worry about them. Just try to have them, by meditating, by focusing on your meditation object. Then you get piti and sukha. And eventually you get equanimity and calm and peace and contentment state. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I think that's about it for tonight. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you very much for your participation. I hope this meeting will help you, give you more information and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
กราบสาธุเจ้าค่ะ
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Thank you.